Got one.
Got him. Bring it. Bring it. Giant walleye, Lake Winnipeg.
Oh, good fish, good fish.
There he is. Got him. Bring it.
Hi, I'm Jason Mitchell. You know, spring bobbers have been helping people catch more panfish through the ice for years, but there's been a few knocks against spring bobbers. First off, a lot of them have a tendency to collect ice. The second thing that happens a lot of times, you have to tie them or fix them onto the rod blink, and over time those come loose. And so those are the two things that I always did not like about spring bobbers. So when we designed a series of spring bobber rods, we took a lot of the things that we've learned out on the ice and put them into each rod. By far the most best-selling spring bobber rod that we have is just a 24-inch rod with a spring bobber that's fixed right to the rod blink. Now this rod is made out of a high modulus graphite rod. Now why use a high modulus graphite rod with a spring bobber? Gives you a couple of advantages. First off, it lightens up the rod so you can get that nice quiver on the rod tip. The other thing too is that by using graphite we can get a very fast tip, because a spring bobber is your bite indicator. You don't need a noodly soft tip on a spring bobber rod because it softens your response, it softens your hook set. And so we tie these spring bobbers onto a fast graphite rod. Now we've got two different styles of spring bobbers that we've designed for certain fishing applications. This particular spring bobber right here is a two-piece metal wire spring bobber with a glow bead on it. And notice how large this loop is compared to a lot of traditional spring bobbers. And also notice how large we've tied the guides on this blink. This compensates for a lot of ice buildup, so you can even use this spring bobber outside in a lot of different scenarios. Now we've also used a more finesse spring bobber style in some of our shorter lengths, because again, remember that a spring bobber just is not a strike indicator. It also influences the presentation. So when you get that soft spring bobber on the end of your rod, it has a tendency to make that jig just dance and quiver in place, and that in itself can be a very powerful trigger when you're trying to catch fish. This rod right here is more of a finesse spring. It's just a fiberglass strand with a glow bead on it, but that's a very soft spring bobber. So when you twitch that, just bob that spring bobber tip, it just has a nice delicate dance on the end of the jig. And also our 18 to 24-inch models are tied with a little bit longer rod handle. What that does gives you a little bit more space on the rod if you want to use a schoolie reel or a fly reel, which has gotten popular with a lot of ice fishing presentations. So regardless of the depth of water you're fishing, regardless of the type of bite or the type of situation you're fishing, whether you're inside of a dark house or hole hopping outside, we've developed a lineup of spring bobbers that will really help you catch more panfish out on the ice.